All right, peace. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving honor and praise to the God of our heart, Yisak and Yaakov. Giving double honors to 7130 South Chicago that taught me this truth. Giving double honors to all the brothers and sisters that the Creator has awoken in these last days. With that being said, peace and shalom. All right, brothers. I'm looking at podcast with Math Hoffa, and Math Hoffa brings on Ralo, which is basically an entrepreneur slash rapper slash, I guess, ex-drug dealer, things of this nature, you know. And, Ralo is, talking about a lot of things that he used to do back in the day, far as I think he used to make millions of dollars by selling what you would call weed. And he probably was selling other drugs too, But I think he was known for selling weed, I believe. And the reason why I was doing this video is that, the young youth, we don't really understand what we're seeing. Well, I'm not young anymore. I'm 48. But the younger kids that's basically up under me, that's in I say 30s, they 20s, teenagers, and especially teenagers, and especially young black men that's quote unquote coming from humble beginnings, meaning that their parents struggling, probably don't have a father at home and things of this nature. These shows are basically geared to trick individuals out of their freedom. You know what I'm saying? It's because Ralo is not really even a rapper like that. Yeah, he raps, but Ralo was known for selling drugs, or what they call drugs, right? That's really what he's known for. And he said it himself that the biggest mistake that he ever made was he wanted to become a rapper. He said that that he could have basically continued to sell drugs. He would have made more money. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he was going down to like other countries picking up products and things of this nature for him to sell. So not only was he's just not an average street corner hustler. He went to these places himself, and he was buying stuff from the connect who he was dealing with, And my reason for dealing with this is that you got a lot of young kids out here. A lot of times, man, they can't really process what they looking at on TV. It's because we so busy looking at the chains, the the bling bling and the clothes and how sharp the brother is dressing, but we're not really looking at the spirit of a person. And every time I hear this brother talk, he's supposed to be a Muslim. And see, and I'm not saying that every Muslim on the face of this planet is evil. I would never say nothing like that, because you got some wonderful people that's involved in religion. But what I'm saying is that a lot of these guys that claim to be Muslims, a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, some of them are hypocrites. And see, he's one of them. It's because how you going to be a light to the world and you still got the mentality of a street person? You haven't really humbled yourself. And see, he's involved in an organization called, I guess it's like a music organization called Famgoon. Him and my man Goldmouth, right? And I was looking at Goldmouth recently. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these guys, they got a street mentality. And I was looking at him on Pop the Balloon. Ralo, he going there just to, talk to the females. It's a dating show. And the first thing he tell the female is that basically he's not gonna talk to her if she don't like girls. And I'm trying to figure out where is that in the Quran. If the Quran is the book of the people, where is that in the Quran that you can mess with a woman that engage in homosexuality? And see, this is the mentality. This is what I mean when we're not really paying attention to what we see. The first scripture that I want to look at, and it's probably going to be the only scripture, is Peter's 1 Peter 5:8. It says, "Be sober," because when you're an alcoholic, right? A lot of times when people are engaging in drinking, right? They can't really process a lot of things because they off their square. But once you start to stand 10 toes down, then you can see things clear. So when it says be sober, you have to pay attention to what's going on. See, you're not engaging and what is the alcoholism of today spiritually? It's the customs and traditions of the system. And this is what's going on with our young youth and the world in general, is that we're not paying attention to what's going on. It's because a lot of times we think that these religions are of the Creator, but really it's not of the Creator. And see, a lot of times when we young kids, we look up to these individuals because we don't have proper role models in our own house, right? So we look to these people for guidance. And see, who owns YouTube? YouTube is owned by the Caucasian. See, America runs YouTube. And see, what I'm saying is that we don't see the adversary. We can't really identify the adversary. Is because why? We're still drunk. This guy was on a YouTube page and the guy exposed him for telling on him. Low-key telling. And he tried to make it seem like he wasn't telling, but really he was telling. And now he's making a campaign talking about Big Meech out here telling. But he was telling too. And let's say that he wasn't telling. He's still an informant. It's because he brought something to the neighborhood that discombobulated the community. That's what he did. And it's interesting why Hoffa would bring this individual on his show. But it's not, but see, that's not out of the norm. It's because he always brings these individuals on the show. The drug dealer, the gangster, things in this nature. And why is he doing this? It's because he's being used by the global elites to paint a certain type of picture in the so-called black community that's going to rob your young kids of their youth when they're young. It's because they too young to process individuals like this. And a lot of young kids, a lot of times, sometimes we get into things because of peer pressure, and then sometimes we get into things is because we don't have proper leadership in the community. Why would you put this guy? And there's a lot of black people that's positive, that's not doing nothing to hurt their communities. And here it is, we don't even see them people on his show. See, but you will bring this guy on the show that doesn't represent nothing but destruction and terror in his own community. Well, he bought the units for his Muslim brothers. And what happened to the people that was living there before? What, you kicked them out? See, this is what I'm saying. And see, what was my man, Nicky Barnes, my man from the Country Boys, the drug dealer, they do certain things for the community, but they still hurting their community though. And that's why the scripture says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Right? And what does that mean? How is he devouring us? He's devouring us by putting certain things into the community to destroy you. That's how he's devouring you. And this is nothing but the same tactics that is used back in the day. What was one of the tactics that was used back in the day to put black people in prison, right? Because prison is nothing but another form of slavery. It's in the Constitution. So if you do a crime, and Ralo is a victim of that just as well. You do a crime, we can only put you in slavery if we put you in jail. And the black community don't like Lil Durk and all these other rappers and stuff. They're being used by the system to put young black men and young black women in prison or get themselves killed. And like I say, back in the 1800s, when they so-called freed us from slavery, one of the things that they used to put us back in slavery is that they put certain nuances in the community to destroy your community. And what is that? Alcohol and drugs. Setting up economical systems that didn't allow you to make an honest wage. See, this is what they was doing back in the day. And that same doctrine, that same type of teaching is still being flourished in our communities today. So, brothers and sisters, you got to pay attention to a lot of these guys that's in the community. This brother is an informant. Where was he getting all them drugs from that he was bragging about? He got it from the so-called white man. That's where he got it from. He got it from the other nations that don't have no respect for so-called black people. And here it is, he thinking that he's an entrepreneur and this, that, and the third, but really he's a mule for the nations that don't even care about you. and he bring all type of substance into the community that does what? Discombobulate. See, marijuana discombobulates you. That cocaine discombobulates you. And you got people, they glorify these people. And then he's talking about Big Meats. He's an informant also. Meats is an informant. All of these drug dealers are informants, brothers and sisters. They're working with the other nations to continue to destroy us as a people. This is why the Creator is saying what? Be sober and vigilant, because your adversary, your adversary, the devil, is like a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. And that's what's going on with our youth today, brothers and sisters. It's either we're dead or in jail. So with that being said, I hope you got something out of the message. Peace. Shalom.